Hi. Googy morning. Okay, start the stopwatch. Here we go. All right, we got it. We're doing it. Okay, wait. Let me turn down the volume a little bit. Okay, here we go. First thing we got to do. Wait. Oh, I know exactly. Wait, no. Okay, yeah. Here we go. Okay, look. We're gonna get the white cross. Here we go. I forgot how to do this. Oh shoot. Okay. Wait. Wait. I remember. No. Oh. Fuck. Okay. Oh no. This is a nightmare. Here we go. Okay, there we go. Look at that. Wait, why did this stop? Oh. Oh no. My music. Oh man. This. Oh. That just messed me up. I forgot. Wait. Oh. Oh, I got it. Look. Okay. Look. We're doing good. We're fine. Yeah. We're getting there. Okay, look, I'm back, baby. Took a week off, and now we're almost there. We almost got the full-on 9 white squares. Okay, we're doing great here, guys. It's good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. Wait, let's check the comments. Do we have people in here? Yes, we got people in the chat. Yes. All right. Broken physics. Appreciate you. Wait, I got to get this second layer of the cube done. It's going to be great. This is how we unlock the beginning of the show. It's like, what was it? The hidden, wait, the Legends of the Temple show on Nickelodeon. This is that. Okay. And you got to put the puzzle together to get to the next zone. That's exactly what we're doing. Okay. Fuck, I don't remember how to do this part. Okay. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay, now what do we do? Geez, this is okay. Oh God. Can we cut to my face for a second? Good morning. Look, my hair is wet. I took a shower. We got the sunrise. It's 11 in the morning. Okay, let's go back to the queue. Okay. It's an algorithm. It's an algorithm. Fuck. Who's calling me gross? Because my hair's wet? Damn. Okay, abort. You're right. We're going to get this next time. Googy morning. This is the show. I'm not going to say I'm hurt by the fact that there is no Googy morning clip in the highlight reel before the show. I'm not hurt. I'm not even necessarily surprised. What is this show? I don't know. Every week it's something different. Let's see. Googy morning. I'm Riley Soliner. This is the show where every week I check in with you in the morning. We don't have to do a nighttime show. Nighttime is for bad decisions. The morning is for planning your day so it goes well. We're trying to be positive in the morning so we can spread it out through the rest of our day. Doesn't that sound nice? Look, okay. I got 2 different chat rooms going. I got 2 cameras going. Look. Okay. Announcements for this week. We still have postcards for sale. I'm selling hand-drawn postcards. My little space noodle designs. My little doodles. If you donate $20 to the show. If you go to PlanetScum.live, hit support the show, donate to Googy Morning in the drop-down menu, and you donate $20 or more, I'll send you a postcard with a nice little thank you message on the back. And then, let's see, I send 50% of the money that I make from Googy Morning to different charities. We saw that the George Lucas Talk Show was sending money to the Black TV and Film Collective. So this week, because it's on theme, we're also going to be sending money to the Black TV and Film Collective. So if you want to support the people who work on Planet Scum, you want to support me, you want to support the Black TV and Film Collective, buy a postcard and I'll send you one with a stamp on it. What else? And Dustin bought one and they're high quality. You can trust Dustin. He's been a fan of the show since the beginning. Okay, other updates. I got a snack. What is the snack? It is walnuts and jumbo prunes in my little red bowl. Update number 3. This show works right now on a week-to-week, back and forth, left brain, right brain format. Left brain, logical, analytical, language-based, right brain, creative, movement-based. We're not really doing too much movement, whatever. But so this is a right brain week episode. Next week, we're back to left brain. We're back with the Vacation Jason book club. It's Vacation Jason currently in name only. We can't trust him to read and analyze books. They're just the books that he recommends. I'm reading the books. I'm discussing the books. Last time we did this, we had a very enlightening conversation about Are Prisons Obsolete by Angela Davis. Next week, we are going to talk about The End of Policing by Alex S. Vitale. Look at this great graphic. Holy shit. Look, I'm about a quarter of the way through the book right now. It's really good. It's kind of in a similarly to Angela Davis, Are Prisons Obsolete? It raises a question about the end of policing. It doesn't, it's not like the book offers the recipe for the end of policing. So don't get your hopes up. Just learn about how policing works. Learn a little bit about the history of it so far. Learning about the school to prison pipeline. It's a good book. Everybody read, okay? And I contacted Alex via Twitter. Alex has not written back. But if the author of the book showed up to discuss it with me, man, wouldn't that be cool? I don't know. Yeah, that would be cool. I don't think that's going to happen. But I'm like, why not reach out to the authors? All right. And finally, in an effort to get better in general, but specifically to get better at drawing, something that's bringing me a lot of joy right now, I picked up my old notebook that I only used one page of, and I decided I'm going to read a different book, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. Take all the logic and the scrutiny out of it, and just draw with your intuition, blah, blah, blah. It's a book about learning how to draw. I don't know why I'm rushing so much, because I'm nervous, because I want it to be a good show. Anyway, let's switch to the B camera. Let's show off some of these drawings. Okay, check this out. This is from like 2016. This is just an old doodle that I did and then, colored it in. That's pretty typical style for me, right? Then I started reading Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. I copied, one of the exercises was to copy a Picasso line drawing. I've never drawn like that before. I've never done that. That was like the first day I picked the book up. And then I drew, there was a picture of Spider-Man in the book. I don't know, the camera's not focusing right now. It's a pretty bad picture of Spider-Man, but I never drew Spider-Man before. I felt good about that. And then I drew this horse and a knight. I never drew like that before. I'm still so excited that I can draw a little bit better. Then I drew Batman on a Post-it. And then I drew Betsy DeVos. And the original plan was I was gonna put a Devo style energy dome on her head, the red hat from Devo. And here's Oh No, It's DeVos. And yeah, that's my little play on words. Betsy DeVos. So I'll while I'm in conversation with our guest, maybe I'll draw something. If you have any suggestions, you know what I like at this point. What should I draw? Maybe I'll draw a walnut. I don't know yet. But right brain, socializing, having fun, being with friends. It's something you can't do during quarantine. We're all having a bad time. Woohoo. But one person that I've reached out to a few times is my good friend David Bluvband. David Bluvband. He was in the pilot of Hollywood, the new show on Netflix. He's really good in it. He is someone that, we were on the Gethard show together. That's where you've seen us together before. We didn't really interact, Human Fish and Vacation Jason. But at the same time as doing the Gethard show, whether it was on TV or MNN, we were on a Herald team at UCB together. And, we had a lot of good times together there. And then we've just been friends for like 10 years. We're just kindred spirits. He's from New York. I'm from California. We're both lanky Jews who we just nerd out about different stuff. And it's so fun to talk to this guy. So let's bring him in. Today we're going to talk about movies.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, it's David.
Googy morning.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm okay. I'm happy you're here.
I'm happy to be here. It's great to see you too.
So you're into movies?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, that's messed up.
It's messed up, man.
We both touched our noses at the same time. I like
Dude,
that.
Bad. I've noticed how much I touch my face since quarantine began. It's a bad habit.
Yeah.
Ooh, chats are asking us if we know about the movie Gooby. I do know about it only because of How Did This Get Made?
I've never heard of it.
It's like a Canadian family movie, like a family comedy type with the guy that plays what's the name of the big bearded guy in Harry Potter? Hagrid, is that his name?
I'm anti Harry Potter.
I've never been like a Harry Potter fan, but I whoever the big bearded guy is was in Gooby.
Fuck Gooby.
Don't know. I've actually never seen it, but
I'm saying it. I'll be the bad boy of Googie Morning today, where I have a bad attitude about anything I have never heard of. I'm not a cinephile like you. I just like talking movies with you because you like talking about movies. And I guess one thing that always delights me when we talk movies is your ability to recommend movies. You have a large library in your head. Mm-hmm. It's always fun to get recommendations from you. I thought it might be fun to try out some kind of parlor trick style game where people can chat in or call in and get movie recommendations. And then what? And
then I think we made lists of like movies that we like. I think because
I'll quickly explain that my wife has a film festival via Zoom. Nobody can join right now. It's exclusive. Sorry.
Sorry.
But it's a film festival where the current phase is it's it all the movies are curated based upon these lists that we had to create. We'll find a way to invite you to the third season. This is the second season, already in progress. Sorry, but so look, they came up with this concept called the starter pack, where it's not your 10 favorite movies of all time, not the 10 best movies in your opinion. It's the 10 movies that kind of like if we had to recreate you, but only use your movies. These are 10 movies that kind of made you. These are kind of 10 movies that maybe you don't even like anymore, but they're kind of the movies that you can recognize as like, oh yeah, that was a big part of my life for a while. So, do you have a starter pack, folks in the chat? What's your starter pack? Maybe you could put together your starter pack, and we will, or Dave probably do a way better job of recommending a movie based on your starter pack. So, both Dave and I had a hard time narrowing. It is very hard to narrow it down to 10.
Mm-hmm.
So I made two lists because I made my first list, and after I made it, I realized it's pretty basic and not very personal. I'm going to share with you my first top 10 list.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then we'll talk about it. Terminator 2,
Mm-hmm.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
Right.
Encino Man, Dumb and Dumber, Star Wars, Pee-wee's Big Adventure, The Matrix, Fight Club, 2001: A Space Odyssey, and The Dark Knight.
Ooh.
You know,
those are all good picks. I liked all those movies.
Yeah, everybody. Well, let's see. What bothered me though is that everybody, except for like Encino Man, everybody knows those movies. Everybody likes those movies. And they're like big tentpole blockbuster, just kind of like genre defining thing. Or you know what it reminded me of? Like Friendster.
Yeah.
When everyone listed their favorite movies on Friendster in high school, it was like Fight Club, Matrix, Reservoir Dogs, Donnie Darko. It just felt like, yeah, these movies are popular for a reason, and like they're good to a certain extent, but it's like it's not quite. It's not personal, you know? So I redid a list. And this list was more like one of the main criteria I did when I put together the second list was if like a stranger knows a lot about or even likes any one of these movies, I feel like I would have a lot to talk about with this person. Because it's just kind of like on a little bit of another level. So this is my final list. Felt a lot more personal, felt a lot more specific to me. Repo Man.
Oh, cool.
Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Sorry to Bother You.
Ooh.
The Panama Papers. The Warriors. Death Race 2000. Life is Beautiful. Chappie. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, and Encino Man.
I'm glad that Encino Man is always on the list. That's a good consistent.
That was one of those movies that I just watched over and over again.
I loved Encino Man too. I weirdly I think I rented In the Army Now more than Encino Man. If we're talking Pauly Shore phases.
I think I saw In the Army Now in theaters.
I think I saw Encino Man in theaters. We saw Chappie in theaters together. I remember that.
We did not see Chappie together. Did we? Wait.
I thought so.
Maybe we did.
I thought I have the memory of us, but maybe I'm misremembering. I remember we saw one Neil Blomkamp movie together. It's not District 9.
It must have been Chappie. No, I saw District 9 back when I in California. I love Chappie.
Chappie was good. I liked Chappie a lot.
I love Chaplin.
I knew you would like it because it was like that was another thing. Like I remember us talking about it, and I was like, whatever, however I feel about this movie, I know Riley's gonna like it just because of DeAntwoord is in it.
Yeah, I used to love DeAntwoord.
Yeah.
One of the first concerts I saw in New York was DeAntwoord. It's so weird. And I don't know, a movie about a robot learning to feel and just like that's my shit. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of Wayne's World in.
Yeah, seeing a lot of which I'm glad because Wayne's World's on my list.
Yeah. Oh yeah, WALL-E is great. A lot of Adam Sandler. Yep.
Getting a lot of like interesting messages. Yeah, I love these.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, Little Nicky, Jurassic Park, WALL-E. This is tough. Yeah, it is tough, right?
It took a long, I made a list of like 50 movies, and then to even narrow it down to these 20.
It also took me a time. I also couldn't narrow it down from 20. I also made 2 lists of 10. Should I just go through them now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I also had the issue because I made my list, my starter pack for Elena's Film Festival, but I decided I didn't want to spoil anything for that one, so I made a new list of like different movies for specifically ones I thought would be fun to talk about. Like for starter pack, I was like, I think there's like I can talk at length for a bunch of different movies without really. I was like, what can I talk about without checking Wikipedia? And I came up with, in no particular order, Scanners, Thief, The Long Goodbye, Alien, Stop Making Sense, Sorcerer, The Holy Mountain, Watership Down, Cleo from 5 to 7, and Hour of the Wolf. And then that's the first 10. And this next...
What was the second movie on the list?
Thief.
Thief?
Yeah.
Fuck. I have not heard of so many of these movies.
Thief's great. Thief's... I can talk about just those 10 for right now and why I like some of them. You've never seen... Yeah, I think you should watch Thief. Thief would be good.
Wait, let's go through the list again, and I'll tell you if I've even heard of it.
Okay. Scanners.
I know I would like it. Haven't seen it.
Thief.
Nope.
The Long Goodbye.
Heard of it. No idea what it's about.
Alien.
Scared me as a child. Great movie.
Stop Making Sense.
Love it.
Yeah. The whole. Sorcerer.
Never even heard of Sorcerer.
That's really good too. The Holy Mountain. Oh, we gotta watch The Holy Mountain together.
Is that Jodorowsky?
Yeah, that's Jodorowsky.
Yeah, you showed me El Topo. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, I love The Holy Mountain so much. And Watership Down.
Heard of it.
Cleo from 5 to 7.
Never heard of it.
That's a really good movie. An Hour of the Wolf.
Never even heard of it.
That's an Ingmar Bergman movie. That's one of my favorite horror movies.
Okay, I don't even know why I'm getting upset right now. I knew that you know movies way better than I do.
These movies I like a lot because there's more of like Scanners I love because it's sci-fi, which I'm obsessed with. It's Cronenberg, who I love a lot, and it's got a famous shot of a head exploding, which I love. I think explosions are funny. I do have like a wild obsession with explosions and stuff, and I think
this is the first I've heard of this.
I like. I think it is funny, just inherently. Like, I also love watching things explode in movies. I think I love big. I like big action set pieces.
Yeah.
And Scanners is such a good low budget movie that it's funny that like when any effects happen at all, because it's mostly just like be a cheap. I always say Scanners would be a great low budget sci-fi show like to remake right now as like a series, because all it is just people going like it's just, but with no like any effects. It's just like it's great. And then Thief, which you said, I love that movie a lot. It's Michael Mann.
Mm-hmm.
It stars James Caan as a jewel thief who's trying to end his life of crime and lead a regular life. And then, but the criminal empire that's hired him has dragged him in too deep, and he has to figure out how to shake them off before he can live a normal life. And it's pretty. I watched that one with my mom pretty recently, so that's why it's on the list. I think it's like an important one. And then I feel bad they're just going down all of them. But is there anyone you want to? Is there anyone you have any questions about specifically? Or
What's Cleo 9 to 5?
Oh yeah, Cleo from 5 to 7 is a movie. Sorry, it's a French film directed by Agnes Varda. It's about a woman named Cleo who it starts off. She gets a she gets a biopsy to see if a lump is grown, if it's cancerous or not. And she's spending the next 2 hours walking around the streets of Paris, just worried about
Wow.
in her mind. She goes through town and sees lovers and friends, and tries to come to terms with the fact that maybe I haven't been the best friend to the people I love in my life, and is this it's a personal movie for me. It's always been on my top 10 ever since I was a kid. I watched it when I was a kid with my mom, and I like it. It's a sweet movie. It's a very nice movie. It's very thoughtful, kind of soul searching movie, which I really like a lot. And Agnes Varda is a great director. She's someone I feel like nobody talks about nearly as much as a lot of other directors.
Jeez. Yeah. When it comes to French cinema, Italian cinema, no, I got nothing. I want to bring in one of our viewers.
Ooh.
And we'll see if. Let's see. Wait, is Pup here? Is that who we have?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Your name is Pup?
So it's my alias. I use a very long name.
More.
Gotcha.
But you can call me Pup. Yeah.
Good morning, Pup. Thank you for being here.
Pup, thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
All right. Do you want to talk movies with us?
I would love to talk movies with you, especially because I didn't become a movie person until I was a little bit older. Mm-hmm. So I am really excited to have this conversation with some adults.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Cool. I love talking about movies. It's probably, like Riley knows, it's probably the thing I'm most comfortable talking about.
Well, it's probably the thing I'm least comfortable talking about, but also I want to get better about it because I'm a visual artist, and visual media is how I consume things. So I should be able to talk about movies in addition to two-dimensional art and things like that I'm used to creating.
Cool.
I wish I was more knowledgeable about a lot of different types of contemporary art, like painting. Or I wish I could talk at length about other types of art. But
yeah, I wish I was smarter. It's not working.
You're so smart.
Thank you. Oh my God. Okay. Well, do you have what's a movie that pops up in your mind as part of your starter pack?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's like a starter pack, like things that people are usually a little bit more acquainted with in pop culture, I'm gonna have to say like Misery, Heathers, Army of Darkness. I love a lot of like camp horror.
Oh, sure.
Mhm. Princess Bride, things like that. But and They Live, like those were all things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
right.
Live is on my list. It's on my other list too. I'm a big Carpenter fan. So I like, and They Live especially has been fun to watch right now.
Yes.
Because of how awful the world is right now and the parallels you see of our.
It's definitely jarring. Like it's media embodied. Ugh, it's a little uncomfortable, but that's my pop culture section. Because I am like a visual artist, I also like have like this like a heavy lean towards art documentaries. So I really love Beauty is Embarrassing, which is that Wayne White film.
Yes, I've seen parts of that. I haven't watched the whole thing, but that's the one. That's the one where the cover on Netflix is like the puppet, right?
Yes, it is. I think
That's
Riley
right.
just went off to go get Beauty is Embarrassing.
Have you? I'm curious. Is like so you
Check out what I have. I'm sorry, I just got really excited. I had to go get this.
Is this a Wayne White book?
Yeah, let's wait. Can we get the?
Oh,
Boom.
nice.
Oh wait. Yes.
Oh, cool. That's great.
If you don't know, Wayne White is he was the artist that designed all of the Pee-wee Playhouse characters.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can find one real quick. God, this guy rules. I want to draw like this, I'm gonna have my own style eventually, right? But man, do I want to draw like Wayne White.
Wow.
I love his art.
He's superiorly talented, and like the fact that he can migrate between so many different styles and
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
I want I just want this. Look, he's like designed the chandelier and
Oh yeah, I could totally see.
all the sketches from Mr. Kite. God, Wayne White rules. Yeah, look, Dirty Dog. I love it.
That's so great.
I haven't seen the documentary yet, but I really should.
It is a really interesting documentary. It's really good. It really delves into his whole career.
And he's like really vulnerable about his relationship with his family. His wife is a comic book artist, and he's always like, I felt like she was the one who blew up, but like act like he doesn't it like didn't sink in or something, that he was like a big deal.
That he's like created these iconic characters that everybody loves.
Right.
Man, that's too bad.
Okay, I think I have a movie to suggest for you, Pop. Have you ever seen F for Fake?
No, I haven't. I'm writing this down.
Okay, cool. So F for Fake is a documentary by Orson Welles that was made in 1974, I think. It's like it's in Welles's sort of his twilight years. This is post his whole career, really, like he made this movie. He's like older, trying to make The Other Side of the Wind, and it just not coming together. And he's like made a bunch of movies that just never finished. But he was obsessed with this painter named Elmir Dehori, who's a Hungarian painter who's famous for recreating other works of art by other famous painters. He's a perfect art forger. He's maybe the best art forger that ever existed.
I love stories about art forgery. This is already my shit.
And it's also it's concurrently that. And at the same time, Wells met Hori, or excuse me, DeHori, Wells also met, what's his name? The guy that Richard Gere played in the movie Hoax. It was about that guy. His name is Cliff something? Cliff Younger? Can't remember, but it's a guy who wrote about meeting Howard Hughes and lied about it. He wrote like a nonfiction interview book about him meeting Howard Hughes, and then later it was found out that it was a lie. He never met Howard Hughes, and so it's like about all these different types of fakery. Cliff Irving, thank you, Rabbi Chorizo. Thank you very much, Rabbi Chorizo. It's Cliff Irving. That is the name of the author, and so it's Wells realizing that Cliff Irving is lying about meeting Howard Hughes, as well as Elmir Dehori trying to admit which of his paintings are fake and which of them are actually like, no, I actually got this from Matisse or something, or like one of his many lies that he would tell to the press. It's really fascinating. It's a great documentary.
It sounds wonderful.
And then I think this is going to become an emerging theme in this episode. I'm going to recommend a movie I haven't seen. But you may like it.
All right.
It's a documentary called Tim's Vermeer. And this is directed by Penn Jillette of Penn and Teller. And it's about his friend named Tim, who is some kind of engineer or software designer. I don't remember what his job is, but for fun, Tim's hobby, his obsession is to recreate a Vermeer painting. And to the best of my understanding, with only seeing the trailer, Vermeer is a painter who was incredible at recreating the way light operates and moves on surfaces.
Yes.
Without without any kind of technology or anything.
His hand is like essentially like the camera of the time. He was considered one of the best painters of his era in rendering things in three-dimensional form.
Wow.
Cool. That's good.
I want to see that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So I think the main story of the documentary is this guy, Tim, doing his best to do whatever he can to become like Vermeer, I guess.
Oh, you girl with a pearl earring. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that movie is about Vermeer. Good to know. Man, when am I going to watch all these damn movies? Yeah. Let's see. I guess it's up to me. I don't really want to kick you out.
No, I understand. If you have other people to get to, I can get to watching movies.
Okay.
And please let us know what you think of them.
I absolutely will.
Yeah.
I have many opinions. I'll share them.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Cool. We have, let's see. Do we have Robbie Coltrane? Or
Ooh, that'd be awesome if Robbie Coltrane was here. That's the guy who I was thinking of from Harry Potter.
Oh no, Robbie Coltrane I think was
Oh,
okay.
am I wrong?
That was a separate comment from Hex to telling you something that I didn't know before.
That's right.
Got it. We have Annika here.
Cool.
Annika, friend of the show.
Hello.
Annika, hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing great. I'm here with my friend David Bluvband. I'm here with you, Annika. You've watched the show before. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, I just got my postcard actually with your drawing. It was lovely. It made my day. So can recommend. Everyone should get one. Big endorsement.
Big postcard endorsement. Yeah. I appreciate it. Thank you. Do you want to talk movies with me and David Bluvband?
Yeah. So while I was watching, I put together a very preliminary list of 10. Some of them require some explanation, but I'm just going to read them out. first, if that's all right.
Please.
Sure, of course, please.
Okay, so my list from the last 10 minutes is Princess Bride, Mighty Wind, Girl Interrupted, The Public Enemy, Singing in the Rain, Legally Blonde, Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Usual Suspect, and Clue.
Ooh,
Great list.
that's a great list.
First thing that
So-
jumped out
yeah.
was A Mighty Wind. I wanted to put all the Christopher Guest documentaries on my list, and they just kind of weeding them out. They just
Yeah.
they got weeded out over time, but they're so like influential.
Yeah, truly.
I unironically like love folk music. And so for me, that's what edges A Mighty Wind out on top, because I genuinely, unironically, listen to the soundtrack pretty regularly.
Right.
Just because they're fun and great songs. And so for me, that's sort of what puts it a little bit above the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have to go with Waiting for Guffman, because I was a high school theater nerd, you know?
Yeah, I think Waiting for Guffman is my fave as well. I think it's also the one I just recently rewatched most recently.
Mm-hmm.
Fred Willard, man.
Fred Willard, R.I.P.
Yeah.
Best in the biz. I have here. Let me grab this real quick. I have this.
What's it gonna be?
I'm excited.
I have this.
Oh, nice.
This is a big book big coffee table book about Second City that was written in 2002 by Sheldon Patinkin, and there are in the front sleeve of it there's CDs, audio recordings of original Second City staged material.
That's awesome.
And Fred Willard is on there in the sketch with Robert Klein from when they were together in 1971 or something. And he always had it. It was so good. It's so good to hear, like, Fred Willard and Robert Klein maybe in their 20s doing sketch comedy. And Fred Willard's always playing a straight, like the straight man with his game show host voice, and Robert Klein's just doing something very silly. Big fan of both of them. I'm trying to think of like what non-guest movie Fred Willard was the best in.
Spinal Tap.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's
in a really small part there, but it was good. Wait, Monica, let's go over your list again. I want to talk more about the different movies on it.
Okay. So Princess Bride is like kind of a given. I mean, it's sort of the movie that I grew up. I literally at this point can recite the entire movie to the point where it's annoying to watch it with me, so I can only watch it with my family. Mm-hmm. Mighty Wind we talked about. Girl Interrupted. Loved that movie. Watched it like far too. It was one of the very few movies I owned on iTunes, and so therefore I would just watch it over and over again, but I would only skip to the parts I liked. So I've seen parts of that movie many, many times, and parts very few times.
That's also recite from beginning to end is Girl Interrupted. I used to love that movie.
Yeah, Angelina Jolie is just so good.
And Elizabeth, it's an incredible cast. Elizabeth Moss is
the whole cast is phenomenal. The next one was The Public Enemy, which is a 1931 gangster movie.
Yeah, with Kevin, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was one of the first ones I watched. It was one of the first film classes, or actually maybe the only film class I took. Anyway, we watched that movie, and it was sort of one of the first movies that I sort of got to examine from a more academic lens, which I think it's also a great movie, but because I got to think about it like that a little differently, it sticks out in my brain as an important movie in my movie journey.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Let's see. When I was a senior in high school, I had a class that was about, it was called like literature and film or something like that. We watched The Maltese Falcon, and then I ended up doing a project about the dichotomy between the two, like the Depression era film trends of like super escapism, like the monster movies and Wizard of Oz, and then the realism and the grittiness of gangster movies. I should have watched The Public Enemy. I didn't watch.
I have The Public Enemy on DVD. I have I went through a big gangster movie phase when I was younger, and I've seen all of them. I've seen I think I've seen every obscure gangster movie made between the 30s and the 50s. Public Enemy is great. I have a big Warner Brothers gangster movie box set with Public Enemy, The Petrified Forest, Little Caesar, the Roaring Twenties, which is Cagney and Bogart, and I think one more I'm forgetting, but yeah,
Original Scarface.
No,
Original Scarface, maybe.
Original Scarface is not there, but I do. Wait, I'm curious. Because I love your list. So I'm so glad that Princess Bride is getting a lot of love on the episode today. It's been mentioned by a couple people. I love it. I love Princess Bride. I love Fred Savage. I love Peter Falk.
Christopher Guest is also in that.
Exactly. Yeah. Wallace Shawn.
Andre the Giant. Come on.
Andre the Giant. Oh,
you just can't get a better cast. It's
What I was listening to, I'm sure many people on this chat and this show listen to Griffin Newman's podcast, Blank Check. He just talked about Billy Crystal's appearance in The Princess Bride, of how just an interesting career trajectory of first on soap, then on SNL, then making appearances in his friends' movies, sort of the Sandler trajectory of okay, I've met the people who are going to be my crew, essentially, my Howard Hawks, Preston Sturgis team of people that I'm going to just be in movies with for the rest of my career. And then from Princess Bride, I think he goes to When Harry Met Sally. Am I wrong on the chronology, or did Princess Bride come after Harry Met Sally?
No, Princess Bride came before. I'm pretty sure.
So Princess Bride is in that weird thing of Billy Crystal's not yet a movie star, but he's got a part that would be for maybe a cameo for a bigger actor.
Yeah, it is weird that he very much has what feels like a cameo role. And of course, I watched this movie, for the first time 15 years ago. And so in my head, I always kind of thought he was already a star at that point. But when you look at it, it doesn't, because it feels like, oh, you get a big comedian to come in and do this small part. But that wasn't actually.
Right. It was just, we know Billy. Chris funny, he can do this part.
Yeah. We know he's going to kill it.
Exactly. He's going to crush. I want to suggest, based off of a couple of things, I want to suggest the movie and Lady Hawk.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of it?
I have not.
Okay. It is a movie. It stars Michelle Pfeiffer, Matthew Broderick, and Rutger Hauer in a sword and fantasy type movie about an evil prince that's trying to kidnap this princess who can turn into a hawk when the sun comes up.
Love it.
And Matthew Broderick plays a shape-shifting thief, and Rutger Hauer from Blade Runner, the villain from Blade Runner, plays the hero essentially. And it's insane. It's got this perfect. It's also shot by Vittorio Storaro, who shot Apocalypse Now, and it's directed by Richard Donner. So it's got all these weird, like, wow, this is kind of a family movie, but it's also kind of funny, but not really. And it's got like kind of bad effects, but it's
okay. That sounds exactly like the kind of thing I would like.
Yeah.
I do hate Matthew. That's a strong word. I strongly dislike Matthew Broderick because I find him very annoying. Matthew Broderick.
Then I think you'll like this movie only because he's awful in it.
Great. See, I think Matthew Broderick is awful in everything. And so when you said he wasn't playing the hero and he was playing like a weird side thing, I was like, you know what? That's exactly the role I want to see Matthew Broderick in. So I'm very excited to watch this.
When you watch it, it's such a weird movie because I think it's post Ferris Bueller, so he's already become a household name, and this is his next like sort of turn movie of like for his career, it's not a good choice. It's not a good choice for him.
I'm so excited to watch this.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
This is great. I know I'm supposed to host here, but I'm just enjoying watching Dave give recommendations.
It is post Broderick being a murderer. It's post. I think it's post. Unless I don't know when his accident or not accident. Sorry, his hit and run happened.
I just want to say, look, I think the hit and run was an accident. It was a hit and run.
It wasn't malicious. It wasn't. No. But
did do it. We don't endorse that on the show.
No.
Oh, you don't endorse vehicular manslaughter?
No.
Weird take.
Don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. Look, I'm one of those.
Jennifer Grey was in that car too.
Who was in the car?
Jennifer Grey.
I did the
sister from Ferris Bueller. Yeah.
Oh my God.
They dated for a while, and they traveled to Ireland together, where that hit and run happened.
Fuck.
That accident. This is wild. That where Matthew Broderick hit someone with his car is the same spot in the road in Ireland where Spalding Gray had his car accident that eventually led to his death. And I think it's just really shitty to drive on that road in Ireland it's just a bad place where accidents happen. Not Googy at all.
This show definitely took a turn from movies to dying in cars. I love it. I mean, I don't love dying in cars.
Sure. It's funny. I mean, it's not funny, but it's odd that has Jerry Seinfeld had Matthew Broderick on his show? No, it's like more comedian.
I bet. Yeah. I don't think he would. Because Matthew Broderick's like not a comedian funny. He's like actor funny, if any. It seems like funny. Exactly.
Annoying.
Yeah. Right.
I have such and I realize that I'm in the minority, but I cannot watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off because the whole movie is him supposed to him being charming and charming his way out of things. And the whole time I'm like, no, you're just an annoying prick. I hate you.
If you're not down with Broderick, that movie's gonna infuriate you.
Yeah.
I think there should be a sequel, like a present day sequel to Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Open on Ferris Bueller getting out of jail finally after years of extreme financial fraud. Because
I love this.
The events of the first Ferris Bueller trigger decades of him just training his sociopathic manipulative abilities.
Well, yeah. I mean, now everybody thinks he's Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago. He has to keep up that lie.
And so he had shell corporations with
absolutely
dirty money. And
have you heard the theory that there already is a sequel to Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and it's Election.
Oh,
the Matthew Broderick Reese Witherspoon movie from the 90s by Alexander Payne. It's it's less interesting because I agree. Ferris Bueller is probably he probably grew up to be like a Catch Me If You Can style scam artist, pretending to be different people, probably going to jail for fraud. But but in Election, it poses the idea that if he became just a boring adult that hates his life because he peaked in high school.
Sure.
Then he just becomes a loser principal, and then it's his job to try to stop Reese Witherspoon, who's become like another type of Ferris, except she uses her power she uses her power similarly to get control of the school the same way Ferris did.
That's cool. Annika, have you seen Election?
I have not seen Election. I haven't even heard of it until right now.
That's a good one. That's fun.
I recommend that too.
See, my problem with the getting out of jail theory is I feel like he isn't like bold enough to like actually do legit fraud, and so he does like legal fraud where he's a hedge fund manager and like technically everything he's doing is legal, but it shouldn't be, and he throws his friends under the bus, and he has like someone who signs contracts for him, so he's not technically culpable.
No,
I feel like that's more his vibe.
Cameron and Sloane would never be friends with adult Ferris. Like after graduation, they all went their separate ways. Cameron and Ferris might have met up later, but then realized they could never be friends anymore.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
They're different places in their life at this point.
I'm getting word from Bryson that Matthew Broderick was on Comedians in Cars.
Wow.
Comedians in Cars hitting people and then driving away.
Oh no.
Hey, Matthew Broderick, if you want to come on our show, morning. I don't know.
Yeah. The Lady Hawk Election double feature. That's your homework, Annika. That's
absolutely
Matthew Broderick just being a creep.
I'm 100% down for that.
That's cool that we took your least favorite actor and gave you 2 movie recommendations. That's fun.
Well, I'm excited to give him, I guess, another chance in a very different type of role. How about that?
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. Thank you for putting together a starter pack so quickly. Yeah. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure later I'm going to be kicking myself and being like, why did I put that movie on and not this other movie? But this is this is a very preliminary, quick stress one.
What's the one that you're thinking of? Like, if you had to look, that one might have to go. It's hard.
That is hard. Maybe Raiders. Not because it isn't a great movie, but I honestly think the main reason that I remember that movie as being important for me is because I think the first person I was ever in love with was Indiana Jones.
Sure.
And so I think that puts, I mean, don't get me wrong, love the movie, would love to watch it. I think it holds like too high of a place in my head, specifically because I was in love with Indiana Jones. So that might have to be one.
Indiana Jones is also a classic, and it's also one that's like, it's one of those things, like, I think it's a perfect movie. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily like, if there really is such a thing as a perfect movie, but I think Indiana Jones that's one of my top 10 of all time.
Yeah, it's really good. I'd take that back. I don't know which one I would take off. I love all these movies. They're all great.
Great list.
I'm seeing a lot of chat about Paddington 2.
I've been seeing that too.
So good. So good.
Incredible movie. Like, the Paddington movies, I think, should be in the Criterion collection. They're so like.
This is a great list. Wait, can we bring that list back up that Amelie had? Or wait, was that Amelie or no? Sarasota. She had Amelie on the list. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Amelie, Aliens, It Follows, Silence of the Lambs, Young Frankenstein, Some Like It Hot, Duck Soup, Ratatouille, Paddington 2. Great
Hot
list.
damn. That's a
great
great list.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
I feel like I already know the answer to this question, but like, do you have to see Paddington 1 to really appreciate Paddington 2?
I think that Paddington 1 introduces you to a lot of the heart behind, like, Paddington 1 makes my heart swell in a way that can't name many other movies that it has. And Paddington 2 is more plot driven. And so I think if you don't need to have seen Paddington 1, but it's helpful because you go into Paddington 2 already loving the characters and already having that like warm feeling about them, and then you can follow them on the more plot driven story.
PlanetScum.live, the entity itself is saying Paddington 1 is a garbage film.
No. Boo.
I don't think
Paddington
it's a
1 is
film. I think they're both
fantastic.
very good movies. Yeah, they're both really good. I think Paddington 2 is an example of like a great sequel,
Yes.
like Bogus Journey, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, because Excellent Adventures also. Someone in the chat. I not to change the subject, but somebody in the chat mentioned the movie Grosse Point Blank, and you were talking like, so your Matthew Broderick is my John Cusack. I hate John Cusack.
Wow.
And I think like I don't mean to dunk on whoever suggested Grosse Point Blank, because it is a fun movie, but I hate John Cusack. I feel exactly about John Cusack as you do about Matthew Broderick, Annika. I think he's just annoying.
I also kind of think he's annoying. He has a kind of similar vibe where he gets away with stuff and you're like, but you're not charming enough to get away with that. Like, why do people let you do that?
Right. Like, I feel like John Cusack probably saw Ferris Bueller when he was like coming up and was like, that should have been me. That should have been me. Fuck that guy. And like, also Cusack I've heard he's an asshole. Like there's a story that when they were filming the movie Better Off Dead, which I used to love when I was a kid, and he was like, they had screened it, and he was like, he hated the movie and was like a dick to people on the shooting of the sequel to Better Off Dead, which was One Crazy Summer, and he was supposed to be like, and everybody's like, oh, he sucked, and I was like, oh, of course.
Yeah, I hate, especially, I don't know, anyone who's rude to people who are just trying to do their jobs and like people who are trying their best to do something good. Like, screw you.
Right.
What is your problem? Like, why? What do you get out of being a dick to people who are just doing their best? Even if they're not doing a great job, if they're doing their best, don't be a dick.
Amen.
I don't know. I like John Cusack's Twitter presence.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just seems like a regular dude.
I know nothing about it.
Yeah. Also, he was on his bike during one of the Black Lives Matter protests recently, and a cop tried to steal his bike.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Right.
I don't know. It can't be that bad.
That's
maybe
good,
I'm giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Maybe I'm giving him a hard time, and I feel bad then. I'm sorry.
In fairness, also, I think people do, especially with like assholedness, people can definitely get better as they get older because they realize that it doesn't help them to be a dick.
That's true.
That's the main message of Googy Morning, is that people change.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Annika, we have another guest, but I want to thank you so much for joining and doing a great list, talking with us. Yeah, come back sometime.
Thanks for having me. This was lovely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Cool.
We're moving and we're shaking. We're recommending movies. We're just a couple of boys running to the other room to show off our books. We have another guest. We have two guests, actually. Ooh. They are devoted and enthusiastic, passionate members of, you know what? They're like founding members of Planet Scum.
Oh, wow.
And the community surrounding it. They are Emily Pineapple and Forrest, the keeper of the cannon.
Cool.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up? Whoa, you got a Gethard Show poster.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, I love your setup.
Oh, thank
Oh,
you.
thank you so much.
Wow, look at that.
Cool.
We got it for going to every single Gethard Show watch party that they were throwing in San
Yeah.
Francisco.
Yeah.
Fun.
Whoa.
That's awesome.
It was cute. There were like 3 of us.
That is
Really
that
fun.
They put
sounds about right.
It was they
It
put
was
us in a
because-
sports bar
yeah.
that was very inaccessible by public transit because they didn't
And I
like
think
find anyone who knew the Gethard Show
And I
or
think it
like
was during the
San
World
Francisco.
Series.
And it was during the World Series. So we were surrounded by all these sports fans, and the
Oh,
waitress felt bad for us, so she was really nice to us. it was cool.
Aw.
So funny. Thank you for
Yeah.
doing. Wow, my goodness.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
thank you.
Oh my god, thank you. Yeah, no, this is really exciting. And I'm really excited
Yeah.
to get movie recommendations because honestly, like when we were looking up all of you for our podcast, David, I'm really excited to
Yeah.
hear what you think of what movies I should watch because I know you're really thoughtful about those things. And I've really enjoyed all of the videos that you've made together.
Yeah.
Actually.
Thank
The like
you.
super surrealist. I'm a talk show host.
I'm a talk show host was
that
great.
sticks out in my head. I
ceremony.
like think about it. Oh my
It
god,
was
yeah.
so good.
I
Thanks.
just love the like
Thank you, wow.
quiet absurdism.
Yeah.
Like it's great.
I loved. Yeah, Riley and I made a bunch of little short films. I missed that. I missed doing those.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah.
Have
Damn.
you been making stuff? What have you been up to? I feel like I saw you on Miss Maisel, and that was really exciting.
Oh, thank you. That's so nice of you. Thanks so much for saying that.
I was very disappointed that they didn't have more of you. I haven't seen the latest season,
Oh, it's
but
good. Very good.
I was like, oh, they gotta go back to the shop.
Hopefully someday. It's so much fun. Thank you so much for saying that. That's so nice of you.
Of course, like I'm curious what
Yeah.
what have you been up to? Is there more cool stuff I can see?
Yeah, it's so nice to be doing a show with one of my best friends, Riley, and talking to everybody here about movies. It's been fun. The Monk prequel. Oh, that's funny. I love Monk. Nobody loves Monk more than Zach Cherry, though. If you guys are
Oh
familiar.
yeah.
Yeah, from shows like You and movies like the A Night with Beverly Loughlin on Netflix, fellow improviser. He's obsessed with the show Monk, and he's read all the books that the show is based off.
Oh
Oh, I
wow.
had no idea.
Actually, when I worked on Maisel, there was I tried to surreptitiously take pictures of Tony Shalhoub. So I to Zach Cherry. Like when we were like at like the rap party or something, I saw Shalhoub's dancing. Like I should like Zach.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
It's good to know Shalhoub dances.
Great dancer.
Yeah, they're just like us.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But Dave, you have a podcast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, it was a podcast until people stopped listening to podcasts because quarantine. But now we do watch-alongs every week of
cool.
the person's stuff who is going to be on PlanetScum.live that night. We find videos and we watch them with people in
Yeah.
order to familiarize everyone with who they're going to see.
You've been like the main thing. Like you guys are good at research. You guys really do a deep dive
It's mostly him.
on everything.
Thank
Like
you.
when I was gearing up to do either the first or the second episode of Klon, you did the first episode about me, and then you did an episode about Justin Angermeyer,
Yeah.
and
That was really fun.
That was so fun.
he had no idea. Like you brought up
He's such a sweetheart, too.
He was very I don't know. Yeah, like you go so far back that you've brought up things that like, oh yeah, I forgot that I made that. It makes you feel nice. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very
It's
sweet.
It's so fun.
Dave also has a podcast.
oh yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if you knew about that.
No.
I do.
No.
I'm really bad at promoting it, but I haven't made any new episodes since the quarantine started. But yeah, I actually have a horror movie podcast.
Oh my god, I love horror movie podcasts.
Cool. Yeah, me too. That's why it's hosted by me and two other friends of mine, John Trowbridge and Stephanie Pace, and we watch horror movies and talk about them. It's called Sexy Spooky Teens.
Oh. Just subscribing right now.
That's my favorite way to consume horror movies.
Yeah,
like they're too
mine
scary for me, but I love them.
We talk. We've done Alien, and we've done Friday. Jason Takes Manhattan.
Ooh.
Done a bunch of movies. We've done The Village, M. Night Shyamalan's The Village, and what else? We did the Dead Zone. Yeah, it's fun. It's I'm a bad podcast promoter, and we've recorded episodes very like irregularly, but there's like we have 25 episodes I think in the can right now.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah,
that's awesome! Oh my god!
And we're gonna try to do more. Actually, we just discovered this StreamYard thing, and we're trying to continue the show doing it on here now.
Yeah,
it's great. Like that's how we've done ours, and it's been so nice.
It's such an excellent tool, really. Yeah. Like
that's exciting.
I love it.
I'm really. So far I love it. It's so fun to use.
Yeah,
and the podcast is called Sexy Spooky Teens.
Yep,
with a Z.
Oh, they already found it.
And someone quoted our thing. Everyone gets moved.
The research guy. I just present what he looks up.
So yeah, you guys did you guys put together starter packs, or do you want a movie?
Yeah, we have starter packs.
Yes, and speaking of horror movies, actually, on mine is Hereditary. Yeah. I'm really into that director, and I have to research a horror movie entirely before I see it. Like I need to know all the scary bits, and then like watch all the scary bits out of context, and then in context, and it will still scare me. So I know a lot about this movie, and I really love how the director approaches horror, and tries to tell it from the perspective of people who don't know what the fuck is happening to them, which is really cool and different.
Mm-hmm. I really love Ari Aster's style. I think like I've been trying to figure out what to call his, because his two features, and then he's made a short that got him to make Hereditary. That's really fucked up. I forget what it's called. Is it like about like a fucked up father and son relationship? And I think like it's. Oh. Ari Aster is like a new gothic. Yeah, I think it is a new gothic. It's like, I want to call it like family tragedy horror, because it's all about like, it's so like disturbing. Because I'm assuming you guys saw Midsummer as well.
I have not yet. Okay. I've read all about it, and I've seen the scariest bits that I could find on YouTube. So I know much about it. I know that the effect is going to still just spook the fuck out of me for a week, but I'm willing.
Oh my god, the cat!
This is Gatsby. He's one of many big orange cats named Gatsby. I have come to learn, but he's a sweetie. Come on, he's not very good at looking at the camera.
I love Gatsby.
Yeah, you like movies, huh?
You know, Dad, with a great strategy of using the bathroom when the scary part comes up.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I also like to use the bathroom.
I'm just like, I'm gonna come out when the scary music stops.
I want to hear Gatsby's starter pack.
What do you like, Gatsby, huh? He likes the Aristocats.
That's a crazy point, being here, dude.
Whoa.
We got Dustin's final list. This is a great list too.
Oh.
F, The Iron Giant, Unbreakable, Rushmore, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Mm.
2.
The Brave Little Toaster.
Oh, I love The Brave Little Toaster. That's a great pick. I love The Brave Little Toaster. Flight of the Navigator's fun too. Fritz the Cat, it's hard to watch now. I think only because of its like when I watched it maybe when I was 18, I was like, this is so like true, but that, like I was like I feel like now I'm like, all right, I think I'm a little over it now, but it's fascinating to learn about Ralph Bakshi and his awful cartoons.
Yeah.
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 Actually, I saw a movie. Previously mentioned before, my friend John Trowbridge. We watch movies together a lot too, as I do with all my very close friends. And we watched Ralph Bakshi's Fire and Ice. If you've never seen weird like heavy metal, if you've ever seen the movie Heavy Metal, it's like a cartoon. It's sort of similar to that, where it's just like big, like huge, like animated, drawn. Yeah.
I'm super about animation. Super about it. I have the Spider-Man Into the Multiverse, Into the Spider-Verse on my
that
list.
was so good.
I do think that's probably the best movie that's ever been made ever.
I think it's my favorite of the Marvel superhero movies thus far.
Oh yeah.
I mean, what are your starter packs? Though I want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, what's your?
I have on here. Well, I have The Art of Self-Defense and Faults mixed into one because we saw both of them at a thing called the Secret Film Festival in Santa Cruz, which is 12 hours of movies.
Where they don't tell you what the movies are. It's just 12 movies, and then you see whatever they want you to see.
And there's like a big like main room and then 2 little theaters up top, so that when they show a horror movie, like you can go up and see a different movie, and it's so good.
It's so amazing.
Oh, we also saw that one about Emily Dickinson there that you fell asleep during.
Because it starts at midnight, and so it was like 3 in the morning by the time they got to.
Love that.
It was with Molly.
It was the Molly
Shannon
Emily Dickinson movie. It was really good. What I saw, I need to rewatch it.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah,
it's so good. It did not get enough press, really.
Wild Nights with Emily.
Wild Nights with Emily, and I think it's because it's about how she had she was in a lesbian relationship with her brother's wife.
Right.
And it's very clear. And it's just this sweet, loving movie that is so funny. It's just so funny. And it's not, I love movies, if you have any recommendations about artists doing their art, but that's joyful, or funny. I love funny movies. Or things with elements of humor.
Artists doing their, Molly Shannon is an incredible actress. And I think she should have, I think she's getting there now. But Molly Shannon should have reached like this Madeline Kahn place in movie stardom of like she can lead a movie and also like be the comedic, like the funniest part of it. Like Madeline Kahn in Peter Bogdanovich's movies is like where I think Molly Shannon should be in every movie in here. Like her in what was Chris Kelly's movie called? Other People?
Oh, I haven't seen Other People.
Beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I loved her in Superstar as a child. That was one of my favorite movies.
Talk about one of the underrated SNL movies. Superstar.
Absolutely.
It's like one of the only ones that I can like genuinely still say like, no, like this is fucking hilarious. Very instrumental, I think, in my sense of humor, actually.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just
Oh, yeah.
absurdist bullshit.
Yeah.
I also have on here Tank Girl.
Ooh,
That's seen. We just
I
saw
love
it for the
Tank
first
Girl.
time. It's so
Tank Girl's
good.
amazing.
Great. I love Lori Petty. I had a huge
Oh,
crush on her from A League of Their Own when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
I love like Ice-T is in it.
Yes.
And
As a kangaroo.
Kangaroo.
because I know Margot Robbie is dead set on remaking Tank Girl. That's her, and I feel like Margot Robbie has been like sort of not pigeonholed, but I feel like the industry has sort of agreed that Tank Girl is her vibe. Like,
It
like
is.
not so much as the character itself, but even like the comic book nature of Tank Girl is like around wherever Margot Robbie is, like from the way it is done in the Birds of Prey.
Oh my god, I loved that movie.
Birds of Prey was good. I like.
It was really good.
So good.
But I think she would be a very good Tank Girl, and I'd be very curious as how they would remake that now.
Is Margot here's stupid? Here comes stupid. Is Margot Robbie the female Keanu Reeves?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
No, she's much more of a comedic actress, I think.
Well,
Right.
but
yeah,
Keanu has that too.
also too like she's. I feel like. Oh, sorry.
No. Keanu Reeves made Siddhartha, and then Johnny Mnemonic,
Mm-hmm.
and Matrix, and John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, exclude John Wick from these examples, but like movies about transcending existential boundaries and becoming these avatars of like seeing beyond, whether it's like in a purely like Buddhism spiritual way or in the cyberpunk realm of like using the digital metaphor to like go beyond. Okay. So then you have Margot Robbie. This is dumb. I'm going to stick with it. You have Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and then if she goes ahead and makes Tank Girl, that just sounds so. At first, it was like, oh, that sounds so similar and like almost redundant to do both of those roles and both of those styles. But then I thought Keanu Reeves did that over and over again until he made the Matrix, or until he was in the Matrix.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
No, that's not. It's not a very good analogy.
But I think like there's also like this thing with. I feel like Keanu is one of my favorite movie stars. I think he's incredible. And I feel like he was always unfairly given the, like he's always painted as kind of a bimbo kind of guy, and I don't think that's fair at all. Like he's super thoughtful. He's obviously very hippy dippy in his like mindset and his philosophy, and and his career is like a great, like you look at it, he started off as like a teen kind of heartthrob movie star, and in movies like Bill and Ted, and this one, I always forget the name of this movie, but it's a movie. Him and Lori Loughlin star in this 80s comedy where Keanu Reeves is a guy that wants to take Lori Loughlin to prom, and Lori Loughlin's dad is a mob boss who a rival mob kidnaps her, and Keanu Reeves has to save the day. And it was
the night before.
It's like a pre-Bill and Ted, but like I forget.
This is called The Night Before. Yes,
I think it's The Night Before. Yeah,
Night Before. That was it. You're right. That was a movie I remember seeing as a kid. I was like, this is awesome. And then like he has all of, and then like after that after his Bill and Ted, like towards the early 90s, he starts being groomed to be an action star. He's in Catherine Bigelow's movie Point Break. He does Johnny Mnemonic, and then the late 90s becomes all about reality type stuff. because Johnny Mnemonic, and then Dark City came out after that, and then like other types of like we're in an alternate reality.
Is Dark City another Keanu Reeves movie about alternate reality?
It's not. No, it's not. It's not a Keanu Reeves movie. Weirdly enough, it's a Kiefer Sutherland movie. But set in a similar world where it's like the real world is fake, and the world behind that world is calling all the shots.
Oh, that's awesome. I feel like
also like a skater guy because he directed a movie called Generation that our friend John Trowbridge is in.
John Trowbridge is in a movie directed by Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
Wow.
Skating in at Tompkins Square Park.
Wow.
It's funny.
He also plays a manic pixie dream doctor in a movie called To the Bone on Netflix, which I watched because it had Keanu Reeves in it.
And he should be like that. He should be at that phase of his career now, or he should be doing the funny cameo in movies type thing.
Like,
he totally is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
he seems like such a good guy.
Yeah, and he seems like a nice guy.
I definitely have Matrix on here as one of my starter pack movies.
Get it out from your list from under the cat.
I know. And I use the camera again to see the cat. But also Jupiter Ascending, strangely, is one that we saw recently. And
really?
It's not
that
it does the thing where it's very, very complex in its world building or whatever, and the effects and everything it has around it, and it has a really, really simple story.
Mm-hmm.
No, it doesn't. That movie's insane.
Which movie?
Oh, it's so simple. It's a Cinderella story. It's
Jupiter
Secret
Ascending.
Queen gets picked up. It's like a very simple sort of like Secret Queen has to fight for her role against group of evil siblings, has companion dog, enters into mystical world. Like she's even a maid.
I wanted to like this movie so bad.
Damn.
I wanted to like it. And they just kept introducing more and more things and more devices and more weapons and species and things that like didn't get explained, like or things that were like talked about as if they had already been introduced.
Yeah.
For a very long time, the movie felt very long, but I was like, all right, with this.
I did think it was about to end
again. And so, especially knowing how much, how great everybody loved The Matrix. And, I even like the sequels, and I'm willing to go, Speed Racer, man, if you haven't seen their Speed Racer,
I want to see that.
Pseudo Jazz is saying Valerian feels similar, and I agree with that.
I want to see that. Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. My aunt said that it's a great movie to listen to music during, and just watch it like a music video. And like Sucker Punch, which was just a really long music video.
I didn't see Sucker Punch.
Sucker Punch was problematic.
Oh, very much so. Very, very much so.
But do you remember? Do you remember what Sucker Punch gave us?
No.
That nobody credits it for.
No.
Sucker Punch gave us Oscar Isaac.
Oh.
You're totally right.
Sucker Punch gave us Oscar Isaac before he blew up, before he was in Drive, and
Isaac was in Drive.
He's the villain.
Oh
yes, you're right, and he's such a good villain.
Wow.
Oh my god,
incredible actor. He's a great villain, and he's like there. Maybe the only positive thing to come out of that movie, and it's rightly so. I love him.
Wait. Someone is saying Oscar Hernandez. Actually, what does that mean?
Does that mean? Oh no! Did I mistake somebody? Now I have to check IMDb.
Yeah, we got to check this out.
All right. Like, what did we do?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think he's in it.
Yeah, he's totally in it. Oh my god! And he looks.
His real name is Oscar Isaac Hernandez Estrada.
Oh, there we go.
That's
okay. He was
Oh,
so
wow.
good. Oh my god. I love him as a
This is also one of my favorite movies, Inside Llewyn Davis. Oh wait, have you guys seen that?
No.
Well, it's not it's not a fun movie. It is about an artist doing what they love,
Yeah.
but it's
Not very
a Hollywood
joyful.
movie, and it's about Oscar. That I think is the movie that blew up Oscar Isaac as a movie star because it's he plays like a down and out musician living in the West Village in 1960s. And it's just a week in his life, and it's one of my favorite movies about artists loving what they do more than life itself. It's just such a pure movie about how artists love art and how frustrating it is to love your art when you don't get any recognition or any nobody notices you. And I think it's one of my favorite movies. It's one of the first movies I bought on iTunes when I was like, you know what, I'm gonna stop collecting DVDs for a while, and I'm just gonna have like an iTunes library for a bit. I think that's. I was trying to think of like, okay, artist, it's fun. And I was like, what's? I was also thinking of if you want to see something bonkers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, bonkers is for sure.
Phantom of the Paradise.
Phantom of the Paradise. I think I've heard of that. That's about the movie theater Phantom of the Opera thing.
It's Brian De Palma's one of his first movies, and it is about it's a Phantom of the Opera take, but it's like a musical. It's a rock and roll musical, and it's like a pop genre musical movie. That's it's so crazy. If you Google any image from it, it's like insane. And it has a great set. Like the songs are all original. They're all great. They're all really good music. It's all great music.
But you're not. Yeah, these images are bonkers and perfect.
God. Yeah. Do you have
Isn't
any
it wild?
weird ass shit?
Yeah.
Like
It's so
the weirdest, trippiest, craziest shit. I just love seeing weird shit play out on a screen. That's why I love Jupiter Ascending. I'm like, you know what? I'll put the story aside and I will watch all this bonkers bullshit. Yeah. Do you have recommendations of
I have one.
amazing set pieces? Yes, please.
Freaked. Freaked is a movie written and directed by Alex Winter. The Bill from Bill and Ted.
Yeah.
Oh.
Man, this movie has the best practical effect. And it's really funny.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I just
googled some of those images. I'm sold on these practical effects.
Yeah,
they're so
gotta
good.
see Freaked. I think I saw Freaked at Alamo Draft House.
Oh, cool.
And it had like a Zoom interview with Alex Winter after he was there.
Oh, cool.
So for a Q&A, it was so cool. And I don't know. It's great. Freaked is great.
I love Alex Winter. He's a great director.
He does documentaries now.
Yeah.
On my starter pack is the Panama Papers.
Mm-hmm.
His documentary about the largest coalition of independent journalists internationally coming together to reveal that billionaires are storing billions in offshore shell corporations. It's great. A bunch of adult Ferris Bueller running the world.
Really. I had a conversation with a mutual friend of ours, Riley, Charlie Walden, and good guy, another fellow movie buff, and we were talking about what movie were you just talking about? It just slipped my for Freak.
Okay.
For Alex Winter, we both saw a talk back with him when they were showing. I think they were having some talk back about the Death Wish movies.
Oh, okay.
Alex Winter, one of the villains, he's like each of the Death Wish movies, the gang always has one person that broke off and became super famous. In Death Wish 1, it was Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Death Wish 2, it's Lawrence Fishburne. And in Death Wish 3, it's Alex Winter. He's one of the gang members, and he talked about it as like what the experience was like working on the movie, and how like what Bronson was like, and just like he has talk about film nerd. He has so much inner working knowledge of the industry at the time that movie was made, and has so many great stories. And yeah, I could listen to him, and he's been on so many interviews for different like various movie related documentaries or interviews, like just that I've seen. Jeff Goldblum is such a weirdo.
Yeah.
Sarasota. Yeah. I saw him play guitar in Los Angeles when I was there last year at a small rock club. Yeah, he does, because he does the Woody Allen thing where he just like plays at this random place for whatever thing. And I was like playing guitar.
Let's not call that doing the Woody Allen thing.
Well, yeah, probably not the best thing to. Yeah. Sorry.
Let's call it the Steven Seagal thing.
Well, no.
Okay, you're right. Okay.
That was bad too. Yeah. But Goldblum was playing guitar.
Who's the guy that plays fucking Hawkeye?
Who plays
Jeremy Renner?
Oh, Jeremy Renner. Yes, he does the Jeremy Renner thing of going to different venues, of going to one venue to like play guitar like once a week, and he plays jazz guitar. Yes, the Steve Martin thing. Thank you, Ben.
Oh yeah, there it is.
But like in between like riffs, he would just like point to people in the audience, mostly young women in the audience, and be like, "What's your name?" Emily starts with E. Starts with E like energy. Energy is something we all have. Energy flows from one person to the next, never stops. It never gets destroyed. It never gets created. He's like doing a pattern game with himself. And
Alex Winter does that during.
No, Goldblum does that. Sorry.
Oh, Goldblum. Okay, that makes way more sense. Okay.
Yeah, it would be a shock if Alex Winter.
Yeah. That's a very Goldblum thing.
Very wild. It was very wild. Very strange. Very Goldblum.
I thought you were talking about Alex Winter the whole time.
Sorry, no.
All right. Forrest and Emily. Wait, yeah, you got a couple recommendations.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm
great recommendations.
So excited.
We're so excited for.
Wait, Forrest, did you read your list or did
No, I can get through my list. My list is so I have Rashomon, Sorry to Bother You, Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home, because living in San Francisco and loving the whales in that movie. UHF, The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, Hunt for the Wilderpeople, because that was such a good Taika Waititi movie, and I love the kid in it. It's just so good. The Last Black Man in San Francisco, Dogma, Rejected, and then The Last Jedi, because I have to have a Star War on my list. And as a Ryan Johnson fan, that's the one that like really hit me. And I liked bookending it with Rashomon elements.
You just got a notification for David Lynch Theater as well.
Oh, the David Lynch Theater is one of my favorite YouTube channels.
What's that?
Huge, massive.
It's David Lynch's YouTube channel. It's mostly his weather reports where he just looks out the window and says it, but he also put rabbits up there now.
Oh, cool.
And
I love rabbits.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've been taking David Lynch's masterclass in quarantine.
Oh my god!
It's been incredible.
Yeah.
I'm taking his masterclass and Samuel L. Jackson's masterclass on acting.
Ooh.
Both couldn't recommend highly enough. They're both super enlightening and amazing.
I think that he's one of the directors that like I can just listen to him talk about anything and I feel like I walk away like with something.
Oh yeah, his book on transcendental meditation is a great listen.
It's life-saving for me. Like
absolutely.
I noticed that Forrest, on your list, you had Sorry to Bother You. That was on my list as well.
Sorry to Bother You is, I think,
came out really recently, but it was very. God, did you see it in the theater?
Yes. Yeah.
I saw that one in a packed theater. Man, I don't know. Everyone was loving it. That was so fun.
That was the
Everyone
year
loved
that
it.
was most confusing for me because I was like, wow, this is such a good movie and nobody's talked. Like, I feel like only diehard film nerds are talking about that movie. It's so good.
Same with
And
Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying the two movies that focus on Black people in the Bay Area not talked about.
Yeah.
But that was a fun part of seeing Sorry to Bother You in a packed theater.
Yeah, in the Bay Area.
In the Bay Area is every time any Oakland bar popped up, it's just like, yeah.
I'd love to see that movie in San Francisco. That'd be incredible.
Oh.
And then what else did you have on there? Yeah.
Love Rashomon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love Kurosawa. If anybody has the Criterion Collection, the Toshiro Mifune series that they curated is still up there. It's great. It's amazing. There's like all of his best movies.
Oh, yeah.
I know that you were like, oh my God, I almost forgot UHF.
I did almost forget UHF, despite it being a huge part of my childhood and just definitely influential on my sense of humor and the absurdity of it. And the it's like the Muppet Show energy of it. Let's just put on a show.
Yeah.
One of the best things about Weird Al is that like he has that energy with him, like wherever he like every project of his, they're just silly and fun, pure, innocent, silly fun.
I'd like to see him write another movie.
Absolutely.
For him to write another movie. We need a Weird Al movie in this.
Yeah.
Or at least some more music videos. Damn, he's
What was the last one? Party in the CIA?
Oh, I love Party in the CIA.
Was that the last music video he made? I remember
because he did the mandatory fun stuff after he did like Tacky and Foil and stuff, and I think that was after Party in the CIA.
Yeah, I got to.
There's that week. Oh,
yeah.
I got to interview
him.
I got to write I used to work at a website that was affiliated with IGN, and we got to interview a bunch of like different pop culture nerd royalty of the like we got to interview Elvira, and I got my friend Jason Steins interviewed Weird Al. Me and Jeremy Bent wrote the questions for that interview. If you're familiar with Jeremy Bent of Mission to Zix fame,
yes.
And the three of us, and Siobhan Thompson from college, if you recognize her. We all used to work at this website together called UGO, and Weird Al came in to promote his book at the time, his new at the time coffee table book, and he was so nice. So nice. Like one of those things where you like wish you when you meet a childhood hero, you like hope they're going to be as good and like nice as they were. Unbelievably kind, generous. Let me keep the book. Answered questions I had about UHF. Like through some shade at Victoria Jackson, but not enough to be like a dick about. It was like still like, hey, no, we just don't talk anymore. It was just like very like, I love this guy. I love this guy so much.
He just seems like a Mr. Rogers, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
We saw him in Berkeley. And it was crazy. It was a huge coliseum, and the amount of energy that guy puts off, it was insane.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yeah, it was very cool.
I saw him when he did his the covers tour, or it was no. It was all his original songs.
Oh, right. Sick.
That was a good tour.
Oh.
It's the only time I've seen him.
Did he?
It was like the tour had some name like Stripped Down, Back to Basics, all those kind of cliches. But it was just him and the band doing, all the other songs that he does. It's really cool.
That's so cool.
We saw him at a Star Wars convention.
Oh, yeah.
And it was he has 2 Star Wars songs, but he was playing for like an hour, And so we were just loving it, right? He did Albuquerque, like he did that song for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And just the fans around were just getting more and more and more like annoyed that he wasn't singing his Star Wars songs. And we were like shouting along, and like the girl next to me was like finally he does Yoda. And they're like, ah!
I was just happy he did Frank's 2000 TV.
Yeah, he was doing all of the songs that like no one would have heard. Like I hadn't heard most of those songs. They were amazing. He's such a troll.
Because he kept hinting. He's like, every set was like, and now the song you've been waiting for. And then not either Star Wars song.
That's cool.
I love it.
I'm curious if maybe, Riley, if you have any recommendations for movies that are related to cloning.
Clowning.
I was really inspired doing all of that research and the awesome list that you provided me of YouTube videos.
Yeah,
and
thank you for that.
Stuff. Truly like transformative to like how I think about theater and art, which is a very new subject for I think both of us, me more than you. Do you have any recommendations, either of you, on stuff like that about joy and theater and what that can do?
You know, I saw some in the chat. I saw a few people recommending Duck Soup. Any Marx Brothers would be great.
Yeah.
You got to look out for Harpo Marx, masterful nonverbal performance. And then on my list, I have Life is Beautiful, which is conceptually just one of the most ambitious, creative Holocaust movies ever made. It's unbelievable how it's done. I love it. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a huge bummer. It's going to be terrifying. It's going to be upsetting. But man, you got to see Life is Beautiful. It does this thing where it's clowning on one side, Holocaust movie on the other side. And the way that they intersect and then cross with, it's hard to talk about it without, I've already kind of spoiled it, but it is, just a fucking cool clowning movie that will also break your heart. It's so good. And I don't know. I have a lot of recommendations that have been recommended to me that I haven't yet gotten around to watching. Jacques Tati, I believe.
Jacques Tati.
The Vacation, is that what it's called? Is that one of his movies? Dave, do you know that?
Yeah, Jacques Tati Jacques Tati's there's Mon Oncle. There's the Hulot character that he is in most of his movies is very physically like a physically dynamic character. Like these very specific mannerisms. I was thinking of also like there's this is kitschy and kind of goofy, but like Barbarella.
That was so good.
Yeah, like Marcel Marceau is in Barbarella, and that's like one of his only movies. So that's fun. That's fun to watch, if only for that. And there's also a movie where I think there's a movie that came out recently where Jesse Eisenberg played Marcel Marceau in a biopic. I think I can't remember. It was about like how because Marcel Marceau was a part of the French Resistance during World War II. And he apparently helped a lot of children escape prison camps by teaching them how to hide. Like he was like, you need to use your body to hide amongst the trees and like teaching movement. Wow. And he was also in Silent Movie, the Mel Brooks movie. Ben A. W. Dude mentioned. Thank you very much. And trying to everything, Mr.
Ben A. W. Dude. I think it's Be New Dude.
Oh, Be New Dude. That makes more sense.
Good.
Ben
A. W. Dude.
Bean is
Alright.
a great.
Bean.
We have fun
yeah.
on this show. We have fun with people's
Yeah.
names. Oh yeah, and then this, Mr. Bean. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen Mr. Bean,
Oh, I loved Mr. Bean.
Yeah, I love Mr.
It's
Bean.
childhood favorites.
Right? It's just incredible.
Oh,
Pierre on Criterion. Yeah, I don't have Criterion. Maybe I should get it. This is good. I'm gonna. It's not the Googy morning anymore. It's almost 1, so we're gonna slowly wrap things up. Forrest and Emily, thank you so much for.
Thank
thank you.
you so
you guys are always
much.
so
Oh my
love-filled
goodness.
and enthusiastic, and you guys bring a lot wherever you go. So thank you so much for bringing what you have to our show, my show.
Oh,
Thank
David,
you.
goodness.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank you.
much. I really appreciate it. You
Yeah.
both are such
Yeah.
awesome artists. I love looking at all of the things
Yeah.
that you create, and you're so kind and generous. I
thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It
Thank
was
you.
so nice to talk to you.
Yeah.
That's great to
Yes,
talk to you.
it was so great to talk to you.
Yeah.
All right. So that was nice.
That was fun.
Final segment, Dave. Do you have a favorite memory from watching movies in the theater?
Yes.
Let's hear it.
I saw Ace Ventura: Pet Detective in theaters,
Wow.
and probably shouldn't have because I must have been 5 or something. But I have a very distinct memory. We came in the middle of the movie, or like maybe we missed the first 10 minutes or something.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom and we watched the whole movie. I'm blown away. And my mom says, "Would you like to sit and watch it again?" And we just sat in the theater and didn't leave. And we watched the whole movie from the beginning this time. And we watched it together. It's one of my favorite memories I have with my mom.
That is so great.
Yeah. I wish Ace Ventura wasn't didn't have problematic elements of it.
like just the most transphobic movie you could think of.
Yeah, unfortunately, it was like, wow, this is like when I became the age to realize what that meant at the end, and like what?
Yeah.
Oh wow, this is a major bummer. It's also like confusing as to like it's whatever. It was a major bummer, but it was like. But yeah, this is one of my favorite memories I have with my mom of just her taking me to that movie and us just sitting through it.
That's very sweet. This isn't the same. It's not like that. That reminded me of a time I went to a movie with my dad. It was Diary of the Dead. It was like,
oh yeah,
a George Romero zombie movie, but from like 2001, 2002. Right. I don't know.
Those are the ones he couldn't make when he was younger and wanted to, and then by the time he did, it was like,
it wasn't that good.
Yeah.
So we get to the theater. We're the only 2 people in there, and I just looked around, and it just went, ah! You know. And that was very fun. Land of the Dead. I feel like it was called Diary of the Dead or something, because
there was Diary of the Dead. There's Land of the Dead. There's also Apartment of the Dead, which he's never made, but the script has been floating around for many years.
I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, I just watched Night of the Living Dead for the first time in a long time, and it's crazy how it's still such a good movie. How much it holds up. The original one.
Yeah, I got to see it.
Oh, it's great. It's first.
There's so many movies that I just know that like they're my movies. I know I would like them. Just never actually saw them.
Night of the Living Dead. I think technically the first movie with a black lead character, of the hero who's the hero of the movie. Mm-hmm. Where it's not like mentioned. It's not like they blind. According to Romero, they blind casted the role. They didn't necessarily write it for an African American actor, but then Dwayne Jones came in and crushed it. And set off. I mean, that's one of the best heroic characters in any movie, and he fucking takes charge, and then a tragic ending that is so zeitgeisty and right now. That is like, you don't expect from a zombie movie.
Yeah, I got to see it.
Incredible.
I got to watch more movies.
Never seen Night of the Living Dead. Please watch it. It's so good. It's on Amazon.
I'm getting mad at myself, Dave. I haven't seen enough movies.
No, it's okay. I mean, also, this is why I watch so many movies. Nobody should watch that many movies.
What's one movie that you shouldn't have seen?
Oh, The Gate.
Sounds bad.
No, not The Gate. Not The Gate. The Gate is good. The Ninth Gate.
Oh.
That's the one.
The Ninth Gate.
The Roman Polanski movie. It's not good.
Got it. Yeah. Well, with that. Well, no, let's see. What's the movie you saw in a packed theater where like the whole theater was like just engaged? I love that feeling. I don't know if we'll ever get that feeling again.
Yeah, I don't know if last one I remember was Get Out. Get Out was an incredible feeling.
Yeah.
When the
opening weekend, Get Out, I saw it in like 42nd Street.
Get Out's amazing. I remember I saw The Great Gatsby in theaters, the Baz Luhrmann Great Gatsby, and at the Ziegfeld Theater, which is now closed in New York. And the audio, like, it was silent by the time it ended, except for one guy that stood up to applaud, and everyone laughed at him, which was very funny, because that movie was pretty awful.
Yeah, that's good.
And then I remember, like, when the first Spider-Man movie came out, they shot on Austin Street in Forest Hills, Queens. They shot a scene of Peter Parker running through the streets. And I saw that movie in Forest Hills, Queens at the Midway Theater and on Austin Street. And we saw, like, when everybody in the theater saw the street on screen, we were like, that's us. Yeah. Ah! It was like, wait, how you like watching The Last Black Man in San Francisco in the Bay Area, or like,
or Sorry to Bother You.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. We are there.
We are there.
I'm trying to think. The only thing that comes to mind that is simple, like this is this will never happen again in a movie theater experience. I saw Lady Bird, and weirdly, there's a moment in Lady Bird to let you know that it's taking place in like 2001, 2002, and it has rapist journalist Matt Lauer in a little clip on the TV. But the movie was released right after the news of Matt Lauer came out.
Oh.
So it was like this weird, big laugh, uncomfortable moment that is just supposed to be context. But it became this moment of everyone being like, wow.
Oh, wow.
We all used to think Matt Lauer was a great guy.
Yeah, that is. With Lady Bird specifically, that movie. I remember that moment in the theater too for that movie, and I also remember thinking this of like, Riley, you and I are now at the age where the early 2000s has become like a genre of movie, like in the same way that the 80s was for like the generation before.
Yeah, it was 20 years ago.
20 years ago. So the early 2000s is starting to become period piece genre territory for movies, and we're probably going to start seeing a bunch of, like, you ever see one of my favorite examples of this is in Adam Sandler movie The Wedding Singer. You ever see The Wedding Singer?
Yeah.
There's like a part where The Wedding Singer is one of those movies where, like, it's one of those 80s movies or movies that take place in the 80s where everything that happened in the 80s happens within the span of a week that this movie takes place in. Like,
they're just cramming it all in.
Yeah, you're just cramping. Like I'm watching TV. JR got shot or something, and then it's like, Ayatollah Khomeini. Am I right? Like whatever is like.
Rap music, yeah.
Just like any pop cultural reference they can just squeeze in. I feel like we're going to start seeing that for like.
Oh boy, look at this new toy! Yeah,
perfect example. Like I feel like we're going to see that for early 2000s movies of like people mentioning, Al Gore, 9/11, the war on drugs, like different things that are like
jeans,
skinny jeans. Sorry, 2000s were
80s nostalgia.
Yes, the appreciation of 80s nostalgia. Oh, the Lemming-like wave of movies that were remakes of old TV shows.
The 2000s were not boring, okay? We had iPods.
Oh, yes.
1,000 songs in your pocket.
Seeing iPad Nanos is going to be a joke in a movie that's set in the early 2000s.
Now, it feels like the last 20 years was one long decade. It feels like everything just kind of got mashed together. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think there's like a real hard. I mean, it doesn't seem to be like a real hard line between the 2010s and the aughts.
Well,
I don't know.
Well, Riley and I were in before the world changed in the before times. Riley and I were in San Francisco together for a Gethard Show talk back where we were discussing this thing of like what the early 2000s could be defined as. There was the topic discussion of like, I think if there's any one thing that differentiates the first 10 years of the 21st century to the last 10 years is the streaming boom.
Yeah.
As like just the thing of like, 'cause in the sense of like between 2000 and 2010, there really wasn't that. And then 2010 to 2020, you start seeing the internet really become what it is right now. In the sense of like movies are made differently. Studio comedies can't be made anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
Past 2010. Everything with the Marvel franchise or the superhero genre of movies and where it is right now. I think it's also very funny that the protocol for how we're treating the quarantine is broken up into phases, just like the Marvel franchise. They're all like those are also broken up into phases, and I think we're going to start seeing like the phase of like everything, like maybe the 2020s are just going to be obsessed with separating things until phases. You still had monoculture in 2000. Oh, what does that mean? Maybe I'm confused as to what that means. That we were all still into the same thing, like we were all aware of the same cultural references. Is that what it means?
I don't really know.
Because you're probably right. But we are trash people says yeah. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think you're right. We definitely still had monoculture in 2000, but we also were just at the beginning of people not really trusting the news anymore. You know what I mean? Like the media is suddenly like now in this place where it's starting to become where it is right now.
Yeah, it's all broken into very small fragments of people getting like
which is what the entertainment industry has sort of landed in right now. It's like just different small pockets of things. Whereas like I think most people are still thinking in terms of Netflix and Hulu and everything, but we still have like microcosms like this. Like Planet Scum, where like small pockets of people are starting to create their own subcultures and their own audiences for that. Its own niche market. It's exactly that.
Or like, you have like YouTubers, Twitch people, podcasters, everyone just kind of
I mean, even with the podcast,
takes like a larger niche and then kind of pulls it down into theirs. Whether it's like, oh, this is a movie podcast, this is a podcast about theme park rides,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll give you a call on the phone sometime. We'll talk more about this, or we'll do this again sometime.
I'd love to. I'd love to come back.
Yeah.
This was so much fun. I love recommending movies to people. I
Yeah.
love doing stuff with you, Riley. My old
Yeah, you too, man. Is it like, can people like find you on Twitter and ask for movie recommendations there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram at Bluvbot. Twitter Bluvband.
Yeah.
Blvband. Sexy Spooky Teens on iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher, wherever you listen to podcasts. And keep watching the backlog episodes of the Chris Gethard Show, and not backlog.
Now on HBO Max. Yeah.
Now on HBO Max. And everything. Hollywood, Maisel, your favorite movies. We all have time to watch them.
Yeah. Watch good movies, guys.
Watch good movies. Watch good movies with good people.
Yeah. Yeah. Get on get on FaceTime and watch a movie with somebody.
Being You Dude says I'm the Jack White of movies. I love that. That's that's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. What else? Buy a postcard if you would like to support the show, or just, send Planet Scum a little bit of just pocket change if you can. But yeah, $20 for a postcard, and we are supporting the show. We're sending you a little thank you, and we're sending money to charities. So, it's just thank you for your appreciation of what we're doing here. And next week we're back with the book club, The End of Policing. And then after that, I don't know. I'm trying to read 3 books this month about either written by convicts, written about prison and police and things like that. And the next month, maybe I'll pick a different theme. Maybe something like, seems like I'm going to jump from talking about police to talking about restorative justice. I don't know. But End of Policing. It's cheap on Verso. What the name of the publisher is Verso Books, I believe. But the PDF of the book is like $3 right now. If you can read it in a week, hey. If you can't read it, the whole thing, I'm going to do my best to make the prompts for discussion accessible to people not reading all or any of the book. But yeah, read too. Okay. What else? Thank you for joining me on Googy Morning. We're going to do another one next week. Watch a movie, read a book, talk to your friends, eat some fruit, and drink some water. Bye for now. Bye. Thank you. I love you. Bye-bye.